Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Michelle for those of you who are just dropping in. And today we're going to talk about a spiritual awakening. And so just the fact that you are interested, or you might be getting to feel resonance in the talk of spiritual awakening or watching this video, that means that you're probably somewhere in the vicinity or the vibration of an awakening yourself. So during this video, I'm going to talk about some of the signs, some of the experiences I've personally had in the last year since my spiritual awakening, and how the perception of life and meaning seems to be a lot different. So let's just dive right in. So about a year ago, I realized something was different. Now, I didn't know what, but I just knew that my perception of life, my interpretation, my purpose was not really what I thought it was. And so with that question, I started to notice that I was separate than my thoughts. I started to notice I was an awareness, or almost like a third person, like a person listening to my thoughts and feelings, if that makes sense. I would notice that I would have a thought, but I was not the thought. I could differentiate that I was no longer the program. I literally was starting to notice I was aware of my thoughts separately than my thoughts being me. And as that happened, I noticed my emotions were no longer the same. For instance, someone could do something to me that might, prior to my awakening, upset me. But as I became awake or awakened, I noticed that I didn't have a reaction to the event or the person doing something to me. And I noticed I had a lot of gratitude. Not that I don't have things to be grateful for, but this was just a different level. I knew that there was something more. And I think that was part of my awakening. I started doing a lot of studying about what was going on, because no one around me knew what I was talking about. I knew there was a greater purpose in life. I knew this was not it. If you kind of feel like you're in a program that you're getting up, you're going to work, you get home, you take care of the kids, and you're doing that over and over again, and you have a resonance, something in you says there's something greater than this. And the answer is there is. Once you become spiritually awakened, you start to understand this. You can feel within yourself. You start to feel connected to people you were not connected to. You start to realize that everyone's energy. You can read energy. For instance, someone can say something to you, and prior to being awakened, I just believe I received the words, or maybe interpreted via the verbal words. But I now can feel the energy. I can feel the intent of someone's words rather than thinking about what they're asking or that they're telling me. And this sounds very analytical, but it's actually not. It's almost like an inner intuition, so to say. You just have intuition. You understand people you've never met before. You feel a connection with people you've never met before. Someone that might be angry or acting out towards you or someone else, you actually start to feel a lot of empathy for. You start to, at least to me, you start to look at their actions as maybe what thoughts and energy are they feeling inside? And you start to be empathetic knowing that that person is probably not awakened. Now, what causes a spiritual awakening? That's a good question. I did a lot of looking this up. And they say trauma or a crisis. That was not mine. I've had a lot, but it didn't happen then. And another huge thing is if you feel like there is something more, like in your head, you're telling yourself there is something more. I know it, I feel it, I don't know what it is, then that, I believe, is part that will lead you to your awakening, if it has not led you to an awakening. The third is having a mentor or being around someone who is already spiritually awakened. You begin, or they say you begin to feel the energy, and their energy somehow is more connecting and guides you more towards a spiritual awakening, as opposed to not being around someone spiritually awakened. And you know, a lot of people, and I don't know anyone personally spiritually awakened, so hopefully with this video this will be great news, because I know I'll find someone out there spiritually awakened besides the people that I study and the great monks who are spiritually awakened. So share with me your ideas down below, because I know if you're watching this video, you're probably either spiritually awakened or you're drawn to the energy of this video by being close to being spiritually awakened. That is what I'm noticing. I'm starting to have more of a connection with the people that understand energies and frequencies and vibration. And the spiritual awakening has nothing to do with religion. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, atheist. It's strictly an alignment. It's strictly finding your inner self, and all of this physical self that we see. And especially me, I'm huge into fitness, but that was my whole world before I became spiritually awakened. And now I realize that I'm so much more. I'm 99.9999% non-physical, and that's the energy that I exude into the world. So share with me down below, guys. I'm really interested to see what your thoughts are about a spiritual awakening. If you know anyone, if you believe you've been spiritually awakened. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe below, and I'll see you back in the next video.